What if the woman you're chasing doesn't exist? Not just in your life, but in reality. Think about it. The perfect woman, flawless beauty, eternal understanding, always available, never aging is everywhere. In ads, in romance movies, in your mind. But Schopenhauer would say, she's a ghost. Women exist in the main solely for the propagation of the species, he wrote. What if your idea of love is actually nature's manipulation? Stick around. By the end of this video, you'll see women, love, and desire in a way that might unsettle you, but also set you free. Here's something wild. Schopenhauer believed that what most people call love is just biology in disguise. Not romance, not destiny, not choice. Love is an illusion which forces man to serve the species, he said. You'll learn why your attraction isn't as personal as you think. What Schopenhauer really thought about women and why it's still relevant. How the fantasy of the perfect woman actually harms men and women. Why chasing ideal beauty is a trap. And the shocking purpose behind sexual desire. It's not just philosophy. This affects how we date, marry, cheat, and even raise kids. So if you've ever wondered why relationships feel harder, now keep watching. Okay, picture this. Jake is 33. He's been dating on and off for years. Every time he meets someone, he thinks, maybe this is her, maybe this is the one. She's beautiful, smart, has that effortless charm. They start great, but within a few months, he's restless. He notices small flaws, he pulls away, and then he's back on the apps. Swipe, swipe, swipe. Looking for what? He's not even sure anymore. Maybe you've been there, or know someone who has. This isn't just a dating problem, it's a perception problem, a philosophy problem. Because what if the thing Jake is chasing, the perfect woman, is a mirage? Schopenhauer thought so, and he didn't sugarcoat it. The sexual impulse is the most complete manifestation of the will to live. In Schopenhauer's view, the force driving life, what he called the will, uses us. We think we're choosing partners, but we're not. We're being pulled by biology, not character. We're seduced by the face, the body, the voice, because the species wants to survive. That's why the perfect woman in your mind is always beautiful, young, fertile, not necessarily kind, or wise, or loyal. Here's the thing, Jake isn't falling for women. He's falling for reproductive signals. That's what Schopenhauer meant when he said, the man is the active, and the woman the passive element in the sexual relationship. Hence, the man strives after the woman, and not conversely. It sounds harsh, but look around. Who usually makes the first move? Who's more disposable after sex? Nature isn't fair, and Schopenhauer knew it. You think you're in love, but nature is just using you. It is not the weal or woe of the present generation, but that of the next, which is here at stake. This one's big. According to Schopenhauer, love is nature's way of tricking you into mating. You feel it deeply, obsessively, desperately. But it's not about you. It's about your future, kids. The ultimate aim of all love affairs is actually more important than all other aims in human life. It is the composition of the next generation. That's the real reason Jake keeps falling for the same type of woman. Not because she's the one, because her traits in Schopenhauer's brutal logic would mix well with his to make stronger offspring. This flips everything. That spark? That chemistry? That sense of fate? It's not personal. It's not special. It's programming. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Think about this. Why do people fall hardest for those who are out of their league? Why do we idealize the unavailable? Why do so many affairs begin with people who are already committed? Because biology doesn't care about stability. It only cares about reproduction. Love is a mask. The will wears it to keep the species going. Woman is the embodiment of cunning and dissimulation. Yeah, another heavy one. But here's the idea. Schopenhauer believed that women naturally know how to manipulate men not out of cruelty, but as a survival strategy. He argued that women don't rely on physical strength. They rely on influence, on charm, on seduction. Nature has given women greater powers of dissimulation, and their mental faculties are more adapted for the family and the immediate interests of life. You might be wondering, is he saying women are fake? Not exactly. He's saying nature gave them tools to protect themselves and secure resources. In modern dating, that looks like playing hard to get strategic silence, emotional withholding, social signaling. You've seen it. You've probably fallen for it. Or maybe you've done it yourself. So here's the question. What if game isn't toxic, it's just ancient? A woman acting mysterious? That's not new. That's millions of years of survival strategy playing out on Hinge. Schopenhauer's point was, don't be mad at the game. Just learn how it works. Stop pretending love is pure. It's always about power. She's not lying to hurt you, she's lying to exist. Still think your last breakup was just bad timing? If this is starting to sound harsh, remember Schopenhauer hated everything. Do you think love is honest? Or is it just useful? What if every sweet gesture is secretly about survival? You might be wondering, is there any hope for real connection? Let's be real. Have you ever loved someone or just loved how they made you feel? Can you separate who you love from why you love them? Would you still love someone if they offered nothing to your future? Are we chasing people or chasing feelings? What does freedom in love actually look like? I know some of this sounds brutal, but this is Schopenhauer. He doesn't hand out warm fuzzies. You might be wondering where women's perspective fits in here. That's fair, and we'll talk about that soon. What comes next might challenge how you think about your mom and your partner. I'm not saying Schopenhauer was right, but he forces us to stop lying to ourselves. Now, look around. Romantic comedies still sell the fantasy. Instagram still sells the beauty. Society still pushes the idea that there's someone out there who completes you. But what if that's not love, it's programming? What if she's not an angel or a villain, but a survival tool you've romanticized? Schopenhauer would say, marrying means to have one's rights and double one's duties. So much for fairy tales. But here's the upside. Once you let go of the fantasy, you can finally meet the real person. Not a symbol, not a projection, not a dream. Just someone surviving beside you. Here's the hard part. Now that you've seen the illusion, can you unsee it? Because Schopenhauer's view of women and love isn't comforting. It's not supposed to be. It strips away the fantasy and forces you to see the machinery underneath. But here's where people push back. Let's walk through it. Some people may say, this is just old-fashioned misogyny. It's tempting to dismiss him, but the challenge isn't to agree, it's to understand. He saw women not as evil, but as expressions of nature. He didn't think men were better just wired differently. Others may say, but my partner isn't like that at all. Maybe, but ask yourself, have you ever projected an ideal onto them? Expected them to complete you? To behave like a dream? and then been disappointed when they didn't? Some could also say, so what? I'm supposed to never fall in love? No. Schopenhauer is not saying don't love. He's saying, love with your eyes open. And some may say, this makes love feel cold, transactional. Yeah, but that's the point. If you know the terms, you're less likely to get played by your own illusions. Does this mean women can't be deep or rational? Not at all. But Schopenhauer believed reason was secondary to will, the deep biological drive to survive and reproduce, and that applied to everyone. So here's the before and after moment. Before. You date or marry hoping someone will fulfill you. After. You see them as a whole person, not a fantasy, and you drop the script. It's more honest. It hurts less in the long run, and it frees both of you. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. He who does not love solitude will not love freedom. So here's one thing to try today. Write down what you expect from a romantic partner. Now, cross out every line that's about how they should make you feel. That list? That's your fantasy, and it's probably what's causing you pain. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next one.